We've all been there. You meet someone, the spark feels real, and you tell yourself this might be the one. At first, everything looks perfect, but slowly you start noticing small cracks in the foundation, moments that don't feel right, words that cut deeper than they should, patterns that leave you questioning yourself. And here's the truth, my friend, love isn't supposed to drain you. Love isn't meant to confuse you. A true relationship should bring peace, not turmoil. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 powerful signs, a set of red flags that every Stoic man must recognize. These are not just minor flaws you can brush aside. They are deep warning signals that, if ignored, can rob you of your time, your purpose, and your very peace of mind. So lean in, listen closely, and stay with me until the very end. Because once you see these patterns, you'll never unsee them again. And if this is your first time here, I'd love to welcome you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, share this message with someone who needs it, and join the conversation in the comments below. Now let's dive in 7 clear red flags every man must recognize. 1. She disrespects your time. Let me share something with you, my friend. Time. It is the one treasure we can never replace. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose strength and rebuild it with effort. But once a moment of your life is gone, it's gone forever. This is why the Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, warned us, guard your time as you would guard your very soul. Now let's bring this into the reality of relationships. If the woman you're with constantly cancels plans at the last minute, if she makes you wait as though your hours mean nothing, if she treats your presence like it's optional, that is not just a small inconvenience. That is disrespect at its core. And disrespect toward your time is disrespect toward your life. I've seen men convince themselves that it's no big deal. They shrug it off, saying she's just busy. She'll come around. But let me ask you something. How many times have you waited at a restaurant, checking your watch, hoping she'll show up only to get a message that she's not coming? How many times have you cleared your evening just to find yourself sitting alone with silence? Every one of those moments is a piece of your life you will never get back. The Stoic path is not about bitterness, it's about clarity. You don't need to get angry, and you don't need to play games. But you must see things for what they are. A partner who truly values you will value your time, because time is the purest form of presence. It's the one gift no one can counterfeit. When someone respects your time, they're really saying, I see you. You matter. Your life matters. But when they waste it without thought, they're showing you something equally clear. You are not a priority in their world. Now here's the hard truth, and I share this as a man who has lived long enough to know. If she wastes your time, now she will waste your life later. That little pattern you notice in the beginning, those small delays, those last-minute cancellations, that habit of making you wait, it doesn't magically disappear. It grows. It becomes the story of your relationship. And suddenly you find yourself years down the road realizing you've been waiting not just for a dinner, not just for a phone call, but for a love that never fully showed up. So here's my counsel. Don't trade your life for someone who doesn't value it. Don't hand over your most sacred resource, your time, to someone who treats it like it's disposable. Because once it's gone, you will never get it back. A Stoic man learns to walk away not with anger, but with dignity. He doesn't beg someone to value him. He values himself enough to say, my time matters, my life matters, and I will not waste it here. 2. She has no respect for boundaries. Let's talk about something that many men overlook until it's too late. Boundaries. Now, boundaries are not walls meant to keep love out. They're the fences that protect your peace, your dignity, and your sanity. Think of them like the lines on a playing field. Without them, the game descends into chaos. Without boundaries, respect cannot exist. If you tell a woman, "I need some space today," and she mocks you for it, that's not love. If you draw a line and say, "This behavior crosses my limit," and she rolls her eyes as if you're being unreasonable, that's not partnership. That's someone saying in her actions, "Your needs don't matter, your voice doesn't matter, and you don't matter." I've spoken to countless men over the years who confessed something painful. They abandoned their own boundaries just to keep the peace. They stayed quiet when they were uncomfortable. They agreed when they wanted to say no. They allowed small violations to slide because they thought love required endless tolerance. But here's the Stoic truth. When you sacrifice your boundaries, you don't create love. You create resentment. You lose yourself piece by piece until one day you don't recognize the man in the mirror. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." And part of being a good man is guarding the integrity of your soul. Your boundaries are not selfish, they're essential. They are the outer walls of your inner citadel, the fortress where your peace resides. When you let someone trample them, you're allowing an intruder into the most sacred space of your life. Now you might wonder, but what if she just doesn't understand? Here's the thing, people who love you will try to understand. They may not get it perfectly at first, but they'll listen, they'll respect your needs, and they'll adjust. Because respect is the language of love. If she keeps ignoring your boundaries, if she mocks them, or repeatedly crosses them, then she's showing you the plain truth. She does not respect you as a person. And where there is no respect, my friend, there can be no love. This is not about control. It's not about making her obey a list of rules. It's about living in a way where both people honor each other's humanity. Without that, the relationship is not a sanctuary. It becomes a battlefield. And a man who values his peace, who lives with stoic clarity, knows when it's time to put down the sword and walk away. So hear me clearly. Your boundaries are not negotiable. They are the lines that define your worth. And if she refuses to respect them, it is better to lose her than to lose yourself. 3. She always plays the victim. There's a certain kind of weariness that settles into a man's soul when he realizes this truth. Every mistake somehow ends up being his fault. You know what I'm talking about. She lies to you, and somehow you made her do it. She snaps at you, and suddenly, it's because you pushed her too far. She drifts away, and the story becomes, "You didn't give me enough love." Every wrong turns into your burden, and before long, you're not her partner anymore. You're her scapegoat. Now here's the hard truth. A relationship without accountability is not a relationship at all. It's a stage play where one person is always the villain and the other is always the innocent victim. And let me tell you, that is not love, that is theater. The Stoics believed in ownership of the self. Epictetus taught that while you can't control the actions of others, you can and must take full responsibility for your own choices. That's maturity. That's freedom. But when someone refuses to own their actions, when they twist every circumstance so they are forever blameless, they're not just avoiding responsibility, they're also robbing you of peace. Think about the toll this takes. You walk into every argument already feeling guilty. You bend over backward to explain yourself, to fix problems that were never truly yours to fix. And still, it's never enough. You live under a constant fog of blame, questioning yourself, doubting your worth, wondering, maybe it really is all my fault, but deep down, you know the truth. It isn't. This dynamic is a trap, and it's one you cannot win. Because if she refuses to step into accountability, if she refuses to look in the mirror, then the cycle never ends. You will always be the problem, and she will always be the victim in her own story. Here's what a Stoic man must remember. Love requires two adults, not one adult and one perpetual child. Growth only comes when both partners can own their flaws, admit their mistakes, and work together to become better. But if she shields herself with victimhood every single time, then she is choosing stagnation. And when she refuses to grow, she is also blocking your growth. So ask yourself, do you want to spend the rest of your life apologizing for things you didn't do? Do you want to carry the weight of another person's refusal to face themselves? Or would you rather walk in truth, where accountability and respect can actually thrive? A Stoic knows when to stand firm. He knows that love without accountability is not love. It's bondage. And my friend, you were not born to live chained to another person's excuses. You were born to walk in clarity and peace and in freedom. 4. She undermines your purpose. Every Stoic knows this. A man without purpose is like a ship without a compass. He drifts, he wanders, he gets pulled by every current of the world. But a man with purpose, he stands firm. He knows where he's headed. And no storm, no wind, no tide can easily move him off course. That's why your purpose matters more than anything else. It's not just about your career or money or goals. It's about your reason for waking up in the morning. It's the higher duty that gives your life meaning. And let me tell you, the woman you choose to walk beside you will either strengthen that purpose or slowly, quietly pull you away from it. If she mocks your ambitions, if she laughs at your goals, if she distracts you from the path you know you're called to walk, that is not love. That is sabotage. It doesn't always look dramatic at first. Maybe it's a little joke when you talk about your dream. Maybe it's the way she changes the subject when you speak about your vision. Maybe it's her constant demand that you put her comfort above your calling. But piece by piece, her words and her actions chip away at your focus. And before long, you're living someone else's life instead of your own. I've seen it too many times, strong men with clear direction slowly turning into shadows of themselves because they allowed a partner to belittle what gave them strength. They stopped writing the book they were meant to write. They abandoned the business they dreamed of building. They gave up the mission that once lit a fire in their soul, all because she whispered, "It's not realistic," or sighed. Why can't you just be satisfied? But here's the truth. A true partner will never pull you away from your purpose. She may challenge you. She may ask questions. She may even test your resolve. But at the end of the day, she will honor the man you are becoming. She will want to see you rise, not shrink. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That's your duty. To live with clarity, to stay true to the path you know is yours. And any woman who tries to cloud that clarity is not a companion. She is an obstacle. So ask yourself honestly, does she help you walk your path, or does she pull you from it? Does she encourage your higher duty, or does she tempt you to abandon it? Because the Stoic man knows your purpose is not optional. It is sacred. And if she cannot respect it, if she cannot walk beside it, then you must walk without her. 5. She gaslights you. There's a special kind of suffering that doesn't leave bruises on the skin, but leaves scars on the soul. It's the kind of suffering where you start questioning your own mind. You wonder, did I really see that? Did I really hear that? Or am I just losing it? That's the slow, invisible poison of gaslighting. Gaslighting is not love. It's manipulation. It's when she twists reality until you begin to doubt yourself. You bring up something that hurt you, and instead of listening, she looks you in the eye and says, "That never happened." You tell her how her actions made you feel, and she flips the script. You're overreacting. You're crazy. Piece by piece, she rewrites your truth until suddenly, her story feels more real than your own memory. Now, the Stoics warned us about this very danger, not in those exact words, but in principle. They taught us that our greatest possession is our mind, our perception of truth. If someone corrupts that, if they convince you to surrender your own judgment, they've taken the very foundation of your freedom. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." And if your attention is constantly consumed by her version of events, you lose the ability to trust yourself. Think about what that does to a man over time. At first, you feel confused. Then you start apologizing for things you never even did. Eventually, you stop standing up for yourself altogether, because deep down, you're afraid. You're afraid. She'll make you believe you're wrong again. That my friend is not love. That's slow erosion. And here's the thing. Once you start doubting your own reality, you lose more than confidence. You lose your compass. You stop trusting your instincts, your wisdom, your ability to choose. And when a man loses that he is no longer steering his life, he's being steered. But the Stoic man cannot afford to live like that. Your mind must remain your own. You must guard your perception the way a soldier guards the gates of a city. Because once you let someone convince you that up is down and day is night, they don't just control the argument, they control you. So let me say this with clarity. If she gaslights you, if she makes you doubt your own memory, your own sanity, walk away. Not with anger, not with revenge, but with dignity. Because the man who values his peace knows that no relationship is worth the price of losing his mind. Gaslighting is poison to the soul, and no Stoic should ever drink from that cup. 6. She stops trying. There's something quiet, almost invisible, that begins to happen in relationships when love starts to fade. It's not always loud arguments or dramatic exits. Sometimes it's simply this. She stops trying. At the beginning, everything feels alive. She cares about how she shows up for you. She listens to your words with attention. She surprises you with little gestures reminding you that you matter. And you feel it. You feel her effort, her presence, her desire to keep the bond alive. But then, one day, something changes. The fire doesn't go out all at once, it dims slowly. She no longer listens when you speak. She stops caring about the details of your life. She no longer bothers to put in even the smallest effort. Because deep down, she believes you'll always be there, no matter what. Now hear me clearly. Love is not just a feeling. It is action. It's what we choose to do day for day that proves its strength. And when a partner stops putting in effort when she takes you for granted, the relationship doesn't just weaken, it becomes hollow. A bond without care is nothing more than an empty shell. The Stoics remind us life is constant motion. Nothing stays still. A relationship like a garden requires tending. If you stop watering the soil, the flowers wither. If you stop nurturing the bond, it dies. Effort is not optional. It is the lifeblood of connection. Some men tell themselves, it's just a phase. She'll come around. And maybe she will. But more often than not, the lack of effort is a truth in disguise. It's the signal that her heart is no longer invested, that she has shifted her energy elsewhere. And if you ignore that, if you accept neglect as love, you will spend years clinging to a relationship that no longer exists. My friend, the Stoic way is not to beg for affection, nor to chase what is already left. The Stoic way is to see clearly, and when you see that effort is gone, you must acknowledge reality for what it is. Because here's the truth. A woman who truly loves you doesn't stop trying. She doesn't become careless with your heart. Even in hard seasons, she shows up. Even in struggles, she finds ways to let you know you matter. Love is not perfect, but it is consistent. So if she has stopped trying, if she treats your presence as guaranteed and your value as expendable, you must understand that the flame is already gone. And no matter how tightly you hold on to the ashes, they will not burn again. Do not stay where effort has died. Do not pour yourself into emptiness, hoping it will fill. Choose instead to honor your life, your dignity, your worth. Because a Stoic man knows love without effort is no of it all. 7. She thrives on drama. Let me tell you something. A Stoic man holds sacred peace. Peace is not the absence of sound, it's the absence of chaos. It's that steady calm in your soul when life around you feels uncertain. And when you find a woman who protects that peace, you've found someone rare. But if she thrives on drama, my friend, you're walking into a storm you didn't ask for. What does it look like? It looks like small problems being turned into battles. It looks like arguments that start out of nowhere over things that don't even matter. It looks like constant conflict where tension is the air you breathe instead of love. And here's the harsh truth. Some people aren't just drawn to drama, they are addicted to it. Drama is fuel for them. The chaos, the fighting, the cycle of breaking down and patching up it becomes their way of feeling alive. But for you, it's exhausting. It drains your energy. It steals your focus. It turns your home, the place that should be your refuge, into a battlefield. The Stoics taught us that the mind should be like a calm fortress, unmoved by noise and distraction. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." But how can you guard that fortress if the person closest to you is constantly battering at its walls? Here's the reality. If she stirs up conflict every chance she gets, if she creates storms out of clear skies, then you will spend more time putting out fires than building a life. And a man who spends his life in firefighting mode cannot live with clarity or purpose. He is trapped in survival, not growth. Now don't get me wrong. Every relationship will face challenges. Disagreements are normal. But there's a difference between honest conflict that leads to growth and drama for the sake of drama. One sharpens the bond, the other erodes it. And if she thrives on the latter, if chaos is her default setting, then your peace will never survive. A Stoic man values harmony, not noise. He knows that peace is not a luxury, it is the foundation of a good life. And if she cannot share that vision, if she insists on pulling you into her storms, then the most courageous act of love you can show is the love you give yourself by walking away. Because here's the timeless truth. A relationship should be your harbor, not your battlefield. If she thrives on drama, then you must choose peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and freedom over disorder. That choice, my friend, is the Stoic way. So my friend, we've walked through 7 clear signs, 7 red flags that no Stoic man should ever ignore. From disrespecting your time to mocking your boundaries to thriving on drama, these are not small flaws. They are patterns that erode your peace, your confidence, and ultimately, your purpose. Remember this: love is not supposed to drain you. It's meant to strengthen you. A true partner walks beside you, honoring your dignity, respecting your boundaries, and supporting your higher calling. But when a relationship turns into a battlefield of manipulation, blame, and neglect, the Stoic choice is to see things as they are and walk away with clarity and courage. Guard your peace, protect your time, and never forget that your worth is not up for negotiation. You only have one life, and it is far too precious to waste in the wrong hands. If this message has spoken to you, I invite you to join me on this journey. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And leave your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we'll keep diving deeper into the wisdom that builds stronger men and stronger lives.